Hi healing fam, how you guys doing? I hope guys doing great. So in today's video we're gonna talk about reactive abuse, how it looks like, postpartum depression, how it can impact reactive abuse, toxic narcissistic high conflict partners, men most of the time, like DDJ's case and Halle Bailey, and how that can show up in women, and how this transcends beyond social class, culture, all of that stuff, and how some of those men can weaponize the court system. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe, follow me for more videos like this, and let's carry these conversations forward. Okay, bye.
Well, DDG got a restraining order. I don't think Halle was going anywhere near him anyways, but his lawyer wanted y'all to know that he did get a protection against Halle, even though Halle got hers first a long time ago. He also produced an audio video of him and Halle getting into it in the car and Halle allegedly hurting him. I'm saying allegedly because I ain't seen that shit. And then Halle, with the quickness, brought up DDG and his brother getting into that damn altercation at DreamCon. I told y'all that shit was coming. Still doesn't change the fact that Halle still has full custody right now of Halo, and he is going out of the country, I think Italy, with her. And the restraining order that she has put on DDG will remain in effect until they sit in front of a judge on June 24th. And that is where the custody battle will start. So all the mudslinging right now, it will all build up at the end. But Halle will not be losing custody of that baby. And DDG is going to have to prove that he can take care of Halo 50% of the time. Not with his mama, not with no assistance, him focusing on that boy 24/7 while he is in his care. And I don't want to hear shit about Halle not being able to do that, because she's already been able to prove that she can handle her son and work at the same time. And unlike DDG, her life is scheduled out around her son. DDG's life is up and down, gone, come back, gone, come back. I'ma get him when I can. I want to see him now on demand. But y'all stream loving DDG fans, y'all really out there. At the end of the day, the mother will win. She's had that boy since birth. And when they broke up, who was taking care of him? Who had full-time custody of him? Her. If you really wanted to fight for your son and you thought he was in any type of danger when everything was happening in 2023, 2024, you should have done something then. Now you just look jealous and petty.
Y'all, the legal battle between these two has just escalated and things are not looking good for Halle. DDG has just filed a motion with the court asking for an emergency hearing and practically begging the court to not let Halle take Halo out of the country this Saturday. He claims that she's mentally unstable, that she has threatened to unalive herself multiple times, and that she's been physically abusive to him. Now, if y'all remember last month, I talked to y'all about how she was able to get a temporary restraining order against DDG, and she was able to get temporary full custody of baby Halo and permission from the court to allow her to take Halo out of the country to Italy for the next 2 months so that she could film a movie. In her filing, Halle said that DDG had physically assaulted her multiple times. She showed photos of bruises. She showed a photo of her chipped tooth when she says he pushed her into the steering wheel of his car. But now DDG is saying that that's not really how that went down. In this article from TMZ, you can see it says 2 months after Halo was born, DDG claims Halle sent him a series of alarming texts threatening to unalive herself and suggesting that their infant son Halo might also be harmed. These are some of the messages that he included with his filing, and to be fair, Halle's crashing the fuck out in all of these messages. However, given the context of these messages, you can tell that she's not just crashing out for no reason, like she just found out that he was unfaithful to her while he was on vacation. I'll zoom in on some of these messages for y'all, but you can see she says, "I just found out you slept with Lala in Mexico." I hope that that's a different Lala and we're not talking about Lala Anthony, because that. But she says, "I'm going to unalive myself tonight." She says, "My son will not be around for it." He says, "I can't believe you're acting like this." And she says, "You put your inside of her in Mexico." DDG seems to respond to her, "I just want to be left alone, please," to which she says, "I'm calling for help. I have a knife." DDG claims in his court filing that another time he had to go look for Halle after she took his pew-pew and just left the house. You can see here, these messages are from earlier in the day, and later that night he says, "If you don't come back here, I'm gonna call the police. I don't want you to do something stupid." He says, "I know you have my pew-pew," and then he says that pew-pew has no safety. About the chipped tooth incident, He alleges that he came to pick Halo up and Halle jumped into his backseat demanding that they come up with like a formal co-parenting schedule, and that after that she became increasingly agitated, started jumping from the backseat to hit him, and momentum carried her forward and she smacked her head on the steering wheel. I don't know how much I believe that. Seems like a great way for lawyers to like rephrase what actually happened. But basically, not only is he asking the court to prevent her from leaving the country this Saturday with Halo, he's also saying that Halle has been the one to repeatedly like punch and slap him, to stalk him by hiding AirTags in his cars, and that she has threatened to unalive herself during jealous outbursts. And therefore, he's asking the court for his own restraining order against her. He's also asking for full custody of the baby. Y'all, absolutely insane. And it looks like this legal battle for them is just getting started.
If Halle Bailey was one of my coaching clients or therapy client and she's going through this right now with this highly narcissistic, toxic man, these are a few things that I will tell her or teach her in order for her to control her emotions so the emotions don't control her, so she can regain her power back as a woman, as the mother of his child. And many of these raggedy, dusty men will literally take you through the ringers if you allow it and make you look like you're the crazy one because you don't have a hold of your emotions. But sometimes it's legitimately so, like, you're gonna clock out, you're gonna lash out, you're gonna like, it's, yeah. But these are some of the ways. Take him off the pedestal. He's not anything. Like, I'm not saying all men, but most men, especially men who do things like that to the mother of their children, who does all this and accusing her of wanting to kill herself, she's to unalive herself, to accuse her of being mental, saying all these things. And but some of these men at the micro level might not be saying it online, but they're saying it to their friends, their families, by be texting you that. So if you are in that situation, like some of us have been, if you know another woman who is going through domestic abuse, emotional abuse, and is being reactive, constantly crying, constantly out of sort, you can't keep your job, you can't keep your household going because this man one and only goal, even though he doesn't want to be with you, is to frustrate hell out of you. So take him off the pedestal. Know that this guy is nothing, especially if you've seen him acting this way. 2, stop checking social media for what he's doing, what he's not doing, who he's with now, who he's talking to, all that stuff. Cut it off. Go no contact. Block him. Block his flying monkeys. So those things don't disturb you during the day and don't disturb you at night. Don't disturb you at work. Don't disturb your ability to stay focused, to live in your purpose. 3, these people lack discipline. It's all about getting excitement. Like, they don't care about you. It's all about drama. And these are people who are conflict driven, drama driven, toxic driven. Like, they get a high from just being this level of crazy through text messaging, manipulation, dark energy, fights. There's really no way of making any decisions with them. It's always circular. You're always running around in a circle. You're always going to court to fight one thing or that. Leave it to the lawyers to fight for you. Say a prayer, be in gratitude, drink your water, go for a walk. Find therapy for perspective, for support. This is so crucial. If she was in front of me right now, I'd be like, you need hugs from people who love you, validate you, and get completely away from this. 4, do things for yourself, like some of the stuff that I mentioned. They don't owe you, and a lot of people don't owe you anything. I hear you. It's hard, especially when you have a child or children with people like that. But at the same time, pull back, completely pull back. Go insta mode. Check your expectations and your projections. And bonus point is that don't let people be telling you what he's doing and what he's not doing, what they found out online he's doing or not doing, what they heard his judge said, his lawyer said, what his mama said, what his daddy said, blah, blah, blah. Anybody comes to you with the info about him, boom. But therapy is going to be your support. Your loved ones, your friends, your siblings, the closest people around you who will be your support at this time, go for it. If you need some anxiety medication, your sleeping meds, call Psych on Demand. But besides that, find a provider, your PCP. You're going to need something besides therapy to hold you through the season. There's no season that lasts forever, but some of the seasons like this are so tough, especially when there's an innocent child involved, and some of these men just literally lose their brain cells. Even the one cell that's left in their brain cells is completely gone, and all they want to do is fight you as a mother of their children, give you no peace, don't want to respect your boundaries, respect you or honor you, nothing, because now they're with a new woman, they're getting supply, and they're flying off like they're on some shit, like for real. So that would be my take to help yourself detach your emotions, don't control you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And let's carry this conversation going forward about women, baby daddy dramas, how to cope, how to survive after separation, after divorce, after a toxic breakup like that. Okay, bye.
DDG releasing text of Halle Bailey crashing out. DDG filed an emergency custody order claiming that Halle was not mentally well enough to take care of their child. Texts have been released. These are allegedly from Halle, and if they are, she was definitely crashing out. You left me hanging as a mother. You won't step up when I need you to. I'm begging you. I just found out you slept with Lala in Mexico. I'm going to delete myself. I don't like you forever. You can have him and let her be his mom. He says, I can't believe you're acting like this. She said you put your thing in her mouth in Mexico. Ooh. And I guess she was blowing him up, telling him to answer the phone. Now from there, he says, if you don't answer the phone, it's over forever. I'm not playing, Daryl. He says, I just want to be left alone, please. She says, I'm calling for help. I have a KNIFE. I was on to tell her to put the KNIFE down. She says, you have ruined me and all my happiness. You hang up when I'm begging you for help. Only help I used to have, and your only focus is being famous and having money. You don't even see what you have in front of you. You go to Mexico and be with someone else. How can you openly talk smack about me and all the women you want to smash? Our text from DDG claiming that Halle had his GUN. He was gonna call the police. She quote unquote wanted to do something stupid. I cannot lie, I did not know their relationship was this tumultuous. This is definitely a lot. I'm curious to know what y'all think about this. Let me know in the comments. Peace.
Halle Bailey is shaking, and everybody's talking about her controversial leak by her baby daddy DDG of all the text messages, the mother willing to contest in court, how crazy Halle was behaving. There's a lot to the story. Let's talk about it. So a lot of the bloggers have been reading these text messages, but what I'm going to do is break down the pieces of it instead of reading you through them. So in this particular text message, well, in most of them, Halle is accusing DDG of cheating, but then also saying, your cheating makes me want to unalive, right? So she's triggered, is given, I'm going to take myself out, Lauryn Hill X Factor. Okay, you threaten yourself so I can stay. Okay, so it's given a lot of that, but she's naming names. So I usually stick with the names. She said, this is proof. You leave me hanging as a mother. She probably say you won't step up when I need you to. I'm begging you. And this is back to back. This is the same minute. 11:09, like she just going. I just found out you're sleeping with Lala in Mexico. Boom. Lala. So y'all are like, who's Lala? Obviously, we didn't think it was big grown Lala. I'm going to tell you who I think Lala is. I think it's this Lala. Lala, the island gal. Now, shout out to Lala. Lala is the daughter of a famous video vixen. She's been in little TJ videos. She's probably, definitely been cuffed by some of the, top dudes in the industry. She's a beautiful girl. But to me, she's right DDG's type. Because you guys remember, he was in a relationship with Ruby Rose for the longest. And this is the same prototype. Ruby Rose is a petite but given body. Halle's a petite but given body. That's what he likes. So I'm like, this is the girl that you definitely would be in Mexico with. And then I saw her post this today. You was down to the streamer university. So of course, you're doing a cute storyline, DDG is, of, he's the nerdy guy crushing on India Love, and India Love's like, DDG's a really good guy, and he's a really sweet man, and all that other stuff. Yeah, that's for TV. This is who you was with down to the streamer university. You was like, okay, cameras off. going to my girl room, okay? And Duke probably did whatever he wanted to do with India, but I feel like DDG mosey right on down to Lala room. But that's just my guesses, so I'm going to say allegedly. Then we go to DDG and Ruby Rose. There was a time that Ruby Rose, when there was some controversy between Halle and DDG and her, where he had inappropriately texted Ruby Rose, who is his ex-girlfriend, and Ruby Rose put this out to the world. She said, every single time you and Halle get into it, you call me. So to me, that already solidified what Halle's saying now. She's like, you talk stuff about me to these girls. When we break up, you get in there and get the bash of me. She done got on that phone and seen him talking stuff. But that confirmed what Ruby Rose already kind of said. Do you see how I'm coming with the extra tea? We got to break down these text messages. Because yes, she did file that order. And they're saying that the chipped tooth was allegedly her banging her head on the steering wheel. He's willing to take it to court. Because now that DDG has done Streamer University, we kind of forgot about the controversy. We kind of laid off of him. But now it's like, we forgot. Hit him with her tea. His publicist, let me tell you something, is probably Kris Jenner, because they are working OT to get him back in the right view of the public. Because everybody's looking like, hey, she looks nutty bam bam, okay? And I know that a woman's postpartum, your hormones are going to be doing crazy things. I am somebody personally, let's talk, that goes through hormone issues. Last year, I was bleeding a lot. And it was crazy. And now my therapist, my psychiatrist tell me, and my gynecologist are all like, your hormones were so crazy that you were doing things that you now have to apologize for. Her having a baby, being pregnant by him, thinking about getting a smortion, because it looks like all this was during the pregnancy time, the having the baby right after time. They're not really showing me nothing 2023 or early when they was messing around, and they not showing me that. They showing me pregnant to postpartum issues. So I'm like, I know it's hormonal. That does not give you any excuse to be taking the gun and being all ticky boom, but it's a bit of a reason. Now, one of the messages, Halle said, your family doesn't like me. I know they don't like me. I know they're going to be happy we're not together, whatever. Kind of gave that. And now DDG's mom is coming out. And I see people saying that DDG's mom is talking about her putting an air tag in the car. But let's read this. Let's read the declaration of Tanya Granberry, the mom. So I am the mother of DDG. Respondent in, so this is straight to the court, baby. Responded in the above entitled matter. I make this declaration based on my personal knowledge, and if called as a witness, I could and would testify competently to the facts and stated herein. Now to me, that lady is saying that it's so nutty buddy over there, and it's so true. She's willing to risk her livelihood, because if you go on stand, you can't lie on the stand. She's willing, as a grown lady with things to lose, grandkids, to go on the stand and testify against you, Halle Bailey. They're doing a thing. So let's continue. I reside in Los Angeles. I am closely involved in my son's life, as is my fiance, George Charleston, who also serves as her son's driver. So her new husband, who is not DDG dad, also worked for the family. Sometimes when you've got a famous family, everybody's got a job, type situation. So both George and I were very involved in identifying and locating multiple Apple AirTags that were secretly placed in DDG's vehicles. So, it's a mess. And I know this all because Halle was like, he's cheating. But my thing about it is, now I'm not a cheater. But Halle crashing out like this, you could have cheated back. Could have just cheated back. Okay, that's fine. The way that my sister would have been with Burna Boy, and it would have been some billionaire Afrobeats artist you did not know about, while you were in Mexico with a baddie. Oh, ma'am, I'd have been to Puerto Rico with a hunk. It just wouldn't have been going down like that. Like, no, if I had a baby. Now, girlfriend, boyfriend, I'm not going to take it there. I'm still trying to honor you. But if I got a baby, I'm like, look, I need to find a father for these children. You're playing a game. So let's continue to read. So number 4, because this is where it gets kind of deep. Petitioner called me directly that night, angrily stating that she knew Daryl was at the movies and made threats to F him up. George and I drove to the theater out of concern for Daryl's safety. When we arrived, we saw petitioner, Halle Bailey, was outside the theater, visibly upset and attempting to confront and physically fight the woman he was with. I personally intervened and de-escalated the situation. Now, what did I tell you Ruby Rose said? No, what did I tell you? Halle Bailey said when all that Ruby Rose stuff was going down, there was a clip of her, and it was like a meme or something where she was doing a voiceover, and it was like an old 90s clip, and Halle Bailey was like, if you don't get her, I'ma beat her I'ma beat her up. And I'm like, okay, that's you, Halle. And I saw that back then, the Ruby Rose situation, I'm telling you, that revealed all to me about what was really going on. I just kept it to the chest. I said, my girl is in there breaking dishes for sure. And she's ready to fight the girl about her man because she just declared that. So to me to tell me this situation, I'm like, yeah, seen that coming. The next day, George, Daryl, and I thoroughly searched the Maybach, find the Apple AirTags beneath the back seat. The discovery clarified for all of us how Halle Bailey had tracked DDG's location to the movie theater. So she was insecure. She had a cheating man, and that's painful for her. That was painful for her. And I'm not saying, maybe I shouldn't tell that message you should cheat back. Because I can't tell y'all something I wouldn't do. I would never cheat back. And you become this kind of crash out when you really love them and they're cheating, and you really just should exit left. Okay. Hey, see you at the movie theaters with a girl. I'm going to go ahead and move all my stuff out, move it to a nice condo. I'm going to go ahead and see her and move on. I don't care if Little Future is 3 months. I'm just going to do me. Sing a song about it and keep it moving. And see, that's what the girls are missing. You got to start putting this pain in the albums. That's why Summer Walker got the heart of a woman and can continue to pay for her lifestyle, because she puts it in the music. London, are you net for real? That's what Summer does. Now, I think that, going from boyfriend to boyfriend is not a good idea either. You need to take that time to heal. You got one baby. Take a little Halo. Get you a ball player. He's going to love you boots. But seeing all this also is a way, can I be honest? A way for DDG to turn other men off to her. This is going to make her seem so crazy. Maybe like a good dude that is more like a Russell Wilson is going to be like, oh, heck no. Heck no. This ticky boomness, I can't have that in my camp. I can't afford it. So it's deep. And Funky Dineva, when I watched the episode of Funky Dineva tonight, Funky said it's going to get worse for her. Now that she did that, restraining order and that whole sitch, she's like, he's going to try to drag her through the mud by her red locks. And you really, really, really hate to see it.
DDG released text messages today from Halle that proved everything that we've been saying. You are a know-nothing ass dude, and you were never worthy of her. That you never were the nice guy that you put yourself out to be, because clearly she been crying and screaming and pleading to be treated like a decent girl while she was pregnant and thereafter. I don't know what this man thought he proved, showing text messages of a woman who had just had his child begging for him to be present and to help her while he was out in Mexico laying up with Lala. See, your fans been saying that all these skits with these girls are just skits and it's no big deal. Whole time, no. You really have been laying up with them while you were supposed to be serious about being somebody's man. That's all it's showing us. That everything this woman said, that you have been psychologically abusive, mentally abusive, emotionally abusive, to where this girl felt so defeated because of it. She didn't want to be here anymore. Being a brand new mother, having postpartum, yeah, you feel suicidal when the person that you love is treating you like a piece of shit. That's all you did was prove that you are the know-nothing ass fucker that we thought you were. You was never worthy of the Little Mermaid. We said that. And these text messages just prove that while she been out here trying to hide and cover for you, you was a know-nothing ass motherfucker. That's all this shit prove it. That you are like your sorry ass brother, who's another know-nothing ass dude. Halle, you've come from a much better cloth than these people. You should have never mingled with this type of man.
This right here is not trying to fight for your child. No, this right here is a narcissist trying to gain as much control over a situation as he can and trying to save face as well. Because if all this is the truth, then why you didn't do this a month ago when y'all had court for the restraining order? Why wait to the day that the temporary restraining order expires for you to do this? Especially considering the fact that the judge granted for Halo to go with Halle to Italy for the 2 months that she's filming a movie. She's not going for vacation, she's going for work. That same judge that granted the TRO is the same judge that allowed for Halle to take Halo to Italy. But now you want to act, oh, I didn't know that she was going to go to Italy. Let me stop it right now. My thing is, if she was such an imminent emotional risk and you showing all these screenshots from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even like screenshots from 2022, you're really pulling at strings, DDG. Like, if you really felt like this, especially considering the fact that a lot of the screenshots he showed was while she was pregnant, why you didn't file for full custody as soon as she gave birth? Why you haven't filed for full custody prior to her filing for full custody and then being granted full custody? Like, come on now. And with these screenshots that he's showing, if anything, it proves Halle's case to me more so than DDG's, because in the screenshot you can see where she's like, you cheated on me with Lala in Miami, and then she's talking about unaliving herself and whatnot. And my thing is, she was pregnant. You was really cheating on your girl while she was pregnant, and she she was crashing out because she found out, and I want to use that against her. And then people talking about she crazy because she put the air tag in the baby's bag. I guess I'm crazy then, because I would do the same damn thing. There's nothing wrong with a parent wanting to know where their kid is 24/7 when they're with a toxic co-parent that they have no choice but to have the kid around. And then people saying, well, oh, she had the air tags on him even while they was together, she was stalking him. People that get cheated on do stuff like that. Pregnant hormonal women that are dealing with emotional abuse, because cheating on someone that's pregnant with your child is emotional abuse. I don't give a damn. They do stuff like that. And then obviously DDG does not care, because he was trying to argue with her this year. Mind you, they're not even together, haven't been together in months, on Mother's Day of all days, about an article that had to do with Brett Fayez. Like, obviously you're still concerned about her romantically, that you're arguing with her about dudes that she may or may not be dealing with, but yeah, you over here trying to show, oh, she's crazy, she was talking to me. Obviously you don't care that much. And the switch up I've seen in regards to people now being, oh, I'm team DDG now, Halle's the problem, see the screenshots, da 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 da. First of all, it shouldn't be no team Halle or team DDG. It needs to be team Halo, and I don't think DDG's even team Halo. If DDG was team Halo, he would realize that doing this right here is going to hinder his son from having a relationship with him. I feel so bad for Halo, because his dad is not doing anything in the best interest of Halo. Like, if he really wanted to see his son, if he really wanted custody, maybe he should have shown up to the supervised visits that he could have had in the month interim since the temporary restraining order has been granted. Nothing DDG has done has been in the betterment of Halo. It's been to spite Halle, and that's exactly why he filed for sole custody days before she was supposed to go to Italy, knowing that he's not gonna get it. But this was really about seeing his son in the best interest and safety of his child. All that time that he spent on stream telling people that, oh, Halle's not letting me see my son, da 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 da, and he even tell the full story about how he ripped off the Ring camera, threw it, how he threw her phone, broke into her house, took a picture of her bed, all that. Instead of being on stream telling strangers that, he would have been at the courthouse telling the judge that, doing exactly what he's doing now. It's giving all this is fake and for optics, which is a shame because there's a kid involved. I don't know if Daryl gonna see this video or if someone affiliated with him will see this video, but hopefully he gets this message. Because listen, Daryl, I pray that you prove me wrong and that you really are doing this in the best interest of your child, but it's not giving that, because the screenshots that you're showing are from forever ago. The receipts that Halle showed are from this year. They're recent. Like, you had to pull out screenshots from 2022 to try to make Halle look crazy, when all she had to do was pull out screenshots from Mother's Day of this year that made you look crazy. Like, they're not the same. Like, we saw the picture when you broke into her house and took a picture of her bed. She has the Ring footage of you acting a fool at her house. Like, you're not innocent in this. Being someone that has sole legal custody of their child, I know that there's 3 stories to every co-parenting situation: the mama story, the daddy story, and then the truth. So obviously only the people that were involved in this know everything that went down, i.e. Halle and DDG. But from what we've seen, and by we I mean the public, you're not looking good in these streets, DDG. And I'm sure you don't want to be considered a bitter baby dad, but you trying to stop your baby mama's money flow days before she goes out to Italy with your child honestly gives that you're a bitter baby dad. And once again, now we know for a fact that you cheated on her while she was pregnant. Like, you couldn't even treat her right while she had your baby in her belly. And I say all that to say that yes, you have the right to fight her back in court, but the way you're going about it is not it. Your child is going to grow up one day and see the facts of the situation, and he's going to resent you, DDG, because all you're doing is terrorizing his mother. That's all you're doing while she's the one taking care of him. When you become a parent, you have to realize that your personal feelings don't matter. It's about the feelings of the child. That's what matters. And DDG, you haven't realized that yet. Daryl, you're gonna have to get it together real soon if you expect to have any type of relationship with your son, because I promise you, once that boy realizes what you're doing to his mama, he ain't gonna like your ass. More than he already don't like your ass now. We see how he be minking you. He probably doing that because he sees you do it to his mother.
Quick message to DDG and his stance. You have every right to file an emergency court order to see your son. Every right. However, putting out text messages thinking you're winning this battle, oh, I'm going to win the internet battle by saying that she wanted to get an abortion, means nothing. An abortion is a choice. Either you do it or you don't. She didn't. She's a mom now. So those text messages are null and void. The other messages about how she wanted to kill herself, well, I mean, considering she's dating you and decided to go ahead and have your baby and now she's stuck with it, I'd be suicidal too. Bravo to you for using the legal system to fight back instead of your hands. However, nothing you put out today negates the fact that she says you hit her and that she has video proof that you stalked her and was in her home when she wasn't there. So good job on you, but you're still doo-doo garbage.
Oh my god, Sana, did you see what DDG posted? The screenshots? I mean, the screenshots of him refusing to help parent his child? I mean, the evidence of him cheating on the mother of his child when she was freshly postpartum with postpartum depression? Like, every piece of evidence that DDG tries to pull out just makes him look guilty as all hell. But I digress. Y'all have fun with that.